Today we're working on a 2015 Maserati Ghibli four-door. We're going to set up the Rolladeck for installation. It looks like we're going to need the thickness and size of that post. It looks like we're going to need the gold plate. And actually, gold plate's too big. It's still going to be the red plate. So that's how you determine which pieces you need, is by actually setting it over the post. If the gold plate goes down below the serrations in the conical post, then the gold is too big. You want to go to the red. Okay, now we'll go ahead and set our wiper nut onto the plate to secure it. You don't have to get crazy. You can actually almost do it by hand, but it's a good idea because of the distance between the glass and the mounting point, just to give it a little bit of a cinch with a wrench so that it won't turn. And you want to select a slide. These are slides. This one's going to be a little bit short. It's not going to quite reach the glass. So you're going to, this is the 3-inch slide. So you're going to want to go up to the 4.5. It's going to be the next size up. And the 4.5 looks like it's going to be the perfect size to reach the glass. And because of the distance between the slide and the glass where it comes to rest, there's not enough room for a drop. So we're going to want to do a conventional setup. So we take our roller platform, we put our slide beneath, come up from underneath the rollers, and we just take our 1/2-inch screws, which come in your kit, and go ahead and install those into the roller platform. I've already cut the windshield free on the bottom and the sides. It's still attached at the top, about 6 inches in from either side in the center. That's so that we can pivot the windshield up onto the Rolladeck without actually disturbing its intended factory set position. You can see it'll hinge. So what we do is we lift the glass. I've taped off the edge of the hood just in case, so we don't actually accidentally bump the paint. We lift the glass, we slide the Rolladeck tool on the slides up against the rollers, up against the bottom edge of the European retaining strip, which comes on the new glass. We make sure that that profile is the same, hasn't changed. We hold it firmly with one hand while we tighten the set screws with the other. And by leaving the windshield attached at the top, we've maintained the factory placement for the setup of the Rolladeck. We've actually compressed the wheels against the retaining strip, so we know we have the perfect configuration. Now, Rolladeck is set up. We can lower the hood. You want to use caution when lowering the hood. Make sure that it's going to clear the windshield as it's propped up on the Rolladeck. Okay, if you want to come around, you can show everyone the clearances we have with a conventional setting. We're every bit of an inch below the hood edge here, but we're suspended above the bead all the way along the bottom and the sides. I'm just going to finish making my cut here across the top. And the windshield is completely cut free now. We'll get our left hand under the glass, raise it above the pinch well, hold it at the bottom with our right hand, lift it up onto the Rolladeck. There might be some stringers, so you want to be careful as you're removing it not to and the Rolladeck is perfectly set for the placement of the new. More important to me that I can
lagi jangan lupa.
Flush mount. Most are done that way, Cameron. You gotta get enough, but not too much. You don't want it to squeeze in, be a mess. You don't want too little. It's a structural component, so you have to put the right amount. Height equal to height of the roof line is a good indication that you have the correct amount. You're applying it directly to the pinch weld over the existing urethane. Let you know that you put it precisely where the factory had it. Keep it at your center of gravity until you get it to the tool. Once the glass is placed in the tool, the weight is shifted, you just roll it over. And because of the design of the rollers, the glass channels itself to the center of the tool, so you have no worries of it coming off. You've got the perfect height. You just bring it down slowly, line up your top. You might have to adjust it one way or the other, but bear in mind you've never made contact to the urethane, so you can do that. You would very easily do that. Place the other side, place this side, and the weight is done. It's still suspended on the tool, and it's just floating on the bead at the top. So check your left to right. Make sure you're happy with the placement. Looks like it could maybe come back this way ever so slightly. Less than 1/8 of an inch. I'll just bump it a little bit that way. I'll put a strip of temporary tape on here to keep it from falling once the Rolladeck's been removed. Do the same on this side. And bear in mind, it might look like it's going to be too short on the sides, but that's because it hasn't fallen into the opening yet, and you haven't pressed it down. So as long as you're dead center left to right, once you actually drop it into the opening, it's going to land where you want it. So you might need to go back that way just to here. Because these Maseratis, the opening tapers, it's wider at the top of the pinch weld on the sides than it is at the bottom, considerably. Now, you're dead center. You know your height is correct because the Rolladeck was tuned to the old windshield, so you have no worries there. You're all set to drop this thing in, so all you do is you loosen your locking set screws, and you can see the glass never made contact to the bead anywhere. It's just floating at the top. You lift the glass, you roll down the Rolladeck, you drop it in, and it lands perfectly. You can actually look, now that it's actually in the opening, you can see that the gap is closed between the glass and the A-pillar because it's closer. You can look at your VIN plate. That's a good indication that you have it precisely where it needs to be. There are factory setting clips on the glass underneath, above the urethane, underneath the dash, so that when you drop it back in, they will align and lock. But you just go around and at this point just gently press it in where it needs to be. The retainer strip for the column more or less bottoms out on the lower pinch weld on this particular model. So you just press it in till it bottoms out. And that's it. When precision is a must, folks, it's the Rolladeck you can trust, even on this high-end Maserati luxury exotic sports car. Order yours today, www.rolladeck.net.